Hello. I'm just gonna post the rules real quick, and then I'm gonna do my intro, and then I'm going to read the comments because we already have comments. People like to comment before I log on, and I am more than okay with that. That means you guys are engaged, you guys want to talk. Hello, if this is your first time here, my name is Shiro. My microphone is on, yes, okay, good. My name is Shiro, I'm a comic artist, and what I usually do on these Sunday live stream, I talk a little bit about what happened artistically in the past week, if anything happened, and boy did something happen. And then we move on and I draw a comic. Right now I am hoping to either finish or be real close to finishing A Day at the Zoo. We are in the last arc. Now I'm going to read the comments that we had while I was still offline, desperately googling a name because I needed the actual name. And scroll. Yes, I can look here now because the chat is working again on Streamlabs. And we have Ronald saying that he is here, and the Grindizer Goldorak reference related to Smack Pages was hilarious. Yes, I am a big fan of Goldorak. I used to watch Goldorak as a kid. I have a couple books. I have a storybook and I have a book where they had this fashion in France at the time to basically trace over the anime and then make a book out of that, and yeah. Other than that, I don't have a single Goldorak merch. I would like to have a Goldorak merch. I used to have like a rubber figurine this big. I say I had like 2 or 3 because they were that cheap. And I miss those. I'm very quiet, which is weird because I can see that I'm pretty high right now. I can move the volume a little higher. No, apparently not. Don't tell me there's a new thing that's busted on on Streamlabs. I swear to Santa Christ. The gain is fine. I'm getting the microphone closer to me if I'm that quiet. Because my microphone is literally like at the top there. But I should be a little better now. Microphone is closer to me. And then Coco said, Shiro to the new, what's up? Cartoon Cat Girl telling me I'm quiet. So that's 3 people that's already here. That's nice. I'm gonna check the properties real quick. Now the sound is at maximum. You're good now. Okay, so the microphone was a little too far. Alright, good. So, art news. I just had some lunch, some important Chinese ramen, which was tonkatsu with black garlic oil and some poached egg in it. And Bono saying hi everyone. Hi Bono. So, oh good, and an article from Kotaku, that's going to help. So what happened this week? That did not happen to me because only good things happened to me. The El Tigre creator George R. Gutierrez announced Punky Duck. I'm just going to read the start of the Kotaku article and then we're going to talk about it real quick. One of a trio of new AI-generated animated series being launched by Amazon. While a rude duck with tood may seek to ruffle feathers, maybe back in the 90s, we're in 2026. But this is not the issue here. The issue was that Jorge... I'll just say Gutierrez... or just the creator of El Tigre, because I don't want to mess up his name more than I already did. Like, he was really into the whole AI-assisted animation thing when he first announced it. Like, and I quote, he said that working with AI for an animation was like making love, and when you're done, they hand you the baby. First of all, ew! Second of all, he got hella yelled at. Third of all, I mean, making love is all about the journey, not the destination. Because for a lot of people, the destination is not the goal. Okay, we have a lot of technology to prevent the destination. Heard he canceled the idea after a backlash, and you are correct, Cartoon Cat Girl. He hella canceled. Is the apology, quote unquote, that I have an issue with. Because he basically said, well, a lot of people educated me, and so I'm canceling the project, but I was gonna do a lot of cool shit for creators and such, so yeah, sorry about that, I'm not gonna do cool shit anymore. That's not an apology, that's you being mad that people got mad. It's like when the creator of Courage the Cowardly Dog was trying to sell Courage coins, was all into the crypto, people got mad at him, and his way to apologize was to say, well, I guess I'll find another way to finance a new project. There are plenty of ways! You are literally popular. Courage is loved everywhere. Go to Kickstarter. Go to Indiegogo. Go to GoFundMe even. Go to Patreon. There are so many ways, but no, you have to do the one that would screw you over and would screw your fans over. Same goes for the creator of El Tigre. Because he was like, oh, it's doing the in-betweening for me, it's doing this for me, it's doing that for me. Well, basically, you got paid to feed your art into the plagiarism machine. And now you're mad because the plagiarism machine now has your art, and you can't do anything about it. So you're trying to put the blame on the people that complain, and that trying to educate you and warn you about this, by saying, oh, I would have put forward creators, and I would have done this, and I would have done that. Would you now? Would you? You were working with Amazon. Would you? I'm okay. Water. Am I loud enough? Am I loud enough now, Cartoon Cat Girl? I'm just extremely frustrated. I just now noticed that the new goal for Throne is not working right now. There's always something that's not working. I'm just gonna go on my Throne account real quick. Oh, that's why. I updated the item and I forgot to put it on crowdfunding. Dishonor. Dishonor on your whole family. Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow. You are, don't worry. Yeah, I bet I... I got a little incensed there at the end. Oh, my do declare, I believe I just got a hit of the vapors. So as you guys can see, there is now a new goal. for the crowdfunding item. Because I got mad at my tab mate, and ever since I got mad at my tab mate and I put the tour box in my Throne wish list, the tab mate have been working like perfectly fine. I think it peed a little. But I'm still getting a tour box. You can never have enough tools for art. Curtain Cat Girl, I don't blame you. People who rely on AI are just straight up pathetic. Like, I prefer just to say Gen AI because there's a lot of AI that are actually useful and helpful and don't drain water. I'm just as frustrated. And it's like it's these big creators and then they turn around, I didn't know that. Between you and me, guys, like, I'm neurodivergent. And when I want, I can be a really good actor. So I have used the I didn't know that excuse more often than I've had to. Like, there was a time back when I was working at the computer shop, my boss asked me to pass myself as a customer to do a return, and I did. And I was talking to Nintendo customer support, which, by the way, like, 5 stars. I love dealing with Nintendo customer support. They're wonderful. Can't complain. Well, I deal with Nintendo of Canada, so I don't know how is it with Nintendo of America. But and then after a while I said, well, you know, I don't know how this machine works. You know, it's my husband that plays with it usually. And then my coworker in front of me, like, when I'm clearly the Nintendork in the house. I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure you knew. Like, there's a lot of talk online about the issues with the Gen AI. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure you knew. You're just trying to say, well, you know, I'm old. I don't know this whole polemic with the technology. Tell me about it whenever... Tell me about it. Never, ever, ever use AI art and it's poison. I know, right? Heard it's also wrecking the environment. It is. Super masking mode, activate. Oh my goodness, sometimes they're... Because, like, there's a whole subset of us, neurodivergence. Like, we know when somebody's lying. Because we've had to do the exact same kind of lying. So we're just sitting there in our chair like, when we can't fucking say anything. So now he pulled out and he's saying, but I would have featured so many people. Well, feature those people. Don't use Gen AI. Because that's another thing. Because when people use any Gen AI, they're either lying about it, or when they tell the truth, they say, "Oh, Dolly did that," or that other one did that, or Grog did that, or how about you? You keep saying you did that. You keep saying you did that, and then you say the program did it. Which is it? When I draw, I don't say, "Oh, Clip Studio did that." I do use Clip Studio, but it's still my hand on the fucking screen. Speaking of, let's continue complaining, but while doing some actual work. How about that? Does that sound good to you guys? Bah. Just gonna put that in front so I can see what you guys are still saying. And you guys know I hold a grudge for a long time. I am still salty about that one woman who used AI to do their entire comic because they said that only AI and themselves could understand how hard it is to make a comic while being AFAB and ADHD. And I'm like, I am going to find you and slap you. Because guess who is AFAB and has ADHD? Weirdly enough, I have no problem drawing comics. I can't focus on learning. You can't focus on learning how to draw comics because you never wanted to learn how to draw comics. Because trust me, if you have ADHD and you want to learn something, and you want to learn something, you're going to fucking learn it. Whether you like to or not. When you don't want to learn something, even just a little teeny tiny bit, that's not going in your head. I know I can't do math. It's not because I didn't try to remember it. I'm very, very, very touchy today. Like the audacity, the nerve, the gumption. Where's my Riz? Riz. There you are. Bah. Do y'all want to see real art? Because I have art too. Which one is your favorite now? And soon chemical art is coming. It's true, Bono has real art and he draws really poofy hair. And I commented on that and I hope he took it the right way because I do like poofy hair. That's like saying how you've had an exhausting day after getting back from the spa. I mean, all that laying down makes you sleepy, you know? Whoops, wrong color. Great start. And sometimes the people that are lying, well, I can't say the truth or else people are gonna yell at me. Yeah, people are gonna yell at you. Because either way, you're being dishonest. And that's coming from someone who loves gimmicks in art. Like how the bucket fill is making my coloring that much little faster. But at least when I use the bucket fill, I am using energy from my computer. And I don't need 3 gallons of water just to fill up the father's shoes in black. I draw poofy hair and it's fun like cotton candy. Yes, it is. I like drawing long hair. Bono likes drawing poofy hair. Any other artists in the chat? What kind of hair do you guys like to draw? Poofy, long, spiky, whatever. What do you guys like to draw in your hair? You can also say with lots of accessories if that's your jam. Like, I like drawing long hair, but clearly I do not like wearing long hair. Every time someone tells me, oh, you were so much cuter with long hair, like, I am going to bite you! And in my case, it's a real frickin' threat because I got 2 crooked teeth up here. If I bite you, I'm leaving with a chunk. Long hair on me is a source of trauma. Painted nails on me is just a neurodivergent thing because I love painted nails. I would love to paint my nails. Just thinking about that, and my nails. Ugh. There's something, like, I feel like my nails are choking, but I love I love the nail varnish and all the design you can do on nails. But then I think about doing it on my own nails, and it's like my nails are going. I can't stand having long hair either. Ugh. Drawing it's super fun. There's curves and it catches in the wind and you can style it. On me, no, too much work. And of course there's the trauma associated with it, so yeah, no. Like, literally, it reminds me of school and how miserable I was there. What finally triggered me to get the courage to go against my mom's wishes and to cut my hair was definitely the funeral. Where people were simply touching me without my consent. I was like, that is the fuck enough. I'm gonna leave that on purpose, but I am going to add more grass down here. There. What's also tiresome is that if you say something like that online, that you don't like long hair, either somebody will try to talk you into it, Or that if they have long hair, then they're going to take it personally and attack you for it. I'm so sorry that happened. You're sorry, imagine me. I had hair down to my butt. So what do you think happened when little old lady the age of my grandma died at that funeral would do when they would come up to me and pet me? In my 20s, might I add? Start from the top of my head, because lest we forget I am 5'2", I'm not that big. Okay, I'm that fat, but I'm not that big. Start from the top of my head and run their bony little half-dead hands down the back of my neck, my back, down to my tailbone. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, 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 nope. So very no. All the no. Yeah, no. Ugh. Oh, that's done. I forgot to offset the colors. Now it's done. But like, seriously, ew, why are you touching me? Ever since I've had short hair, I've only had like one person touch my hair without permission. And like, it was that one time I had my hair dyed green, and it was a gorgeous green, and of course it was spiked up. Right now I'm just too lazy to spike it up, because I'm here with you guys for like 2 hours a week, and I just don't want like to put all the products in my hair to spike it up, only to wash it out immediately after, because I have texture issues. But I was out all day, so might as well spike it up. I mean, it's green, it's nice. And we had stopped at a woman's place because she had a little garage sale going on. I love garage sales. You never know when you might find a little pony. And she saw me, misgendered me. At the time, I was identifying as a girl. Just saying that, like, ugh. And she misgendered me and ram her fingers right here to touch my green hair. Like, why? I could never stand being touched by strangers. God, Who should stand being touched by strangers? Like, the only stranger that I allow touching me in the allowed areas in public would be whoever's playing Santa Claus at the mall that year. Because I always, like, kind of hover sit on his lap because I am aware of my weight. And sometimes he will put his hand around my waist for the photo. And that's fine, that's Santa. But, like, strangers sneaking up on me just to slam their fingers in my hair? Why? Do you want the karate? Because that's how you get the karate. Oh my god, we're actually starting. And Pedro Ara, the voice of Bill. Oh, I missed something. The only strangers I was alright with touching were John Cleese when he shook my hand and Rob Paulson. He gives the best hugs. They were almost like my mom's hugs. And Pedro Ara, the voice of Belle from Beauty and the Beast. And that's another thing, too. They didn't sneak up on you. Like, first time I met my friend Andrew Thomas, I was going in for a high five and he just grabbed me and hugged me. But it was like from the front. I had the time to see him coming. And he didn't stick his hand in my hair. Or his hands down my pants or anything. Like, it was a normal hug. But at least I had already talked to the guy. I knew who the guy was. Of course, when I say who is okay with getting touched by strangers, I really mean by that, like, getting sneaked up on and having people's hands all over you without knowing who they are or where the hand came from, if it's clean. When you can make the conscious decision to have a stranger touch you, that's different. You know? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Bono, if you're still here, have you drawn any Steven Universe characters? Because I'm still on the poofy hair thing, and I know Lion has poofy hair. Rose kind of has poofy hair. Lot of characters and gems have poofy hair in there. So I was wondering, you know? I haven't drawn a lot of Steven Universe characters myself. I do love Steven Universe. I'll be honest, I watched a lot of it on YouTube, and I kind of skipped the Townie episodes because I preferred the gem episodes. Yeah, you wouldn't have his entire face in the glass of the exhibit if his hand is in front of him. But he does have a very long nose, so I'm at least going to bend his nose up. Yeah, I don't blame you. Lars is a lazy coward and Ronaldo is a psycho. Onion is a little creep. Besides, I can never get enough Garnet. Garnet's my favorite too. Like, anybody ask me, my favorite gem, Garnet. My favorite fusion, Garnet. Her voice alone is just so soothing. Yeah, her songs are some of my favorites too in the show. The one she sings in Jailbreak, and the one she sings when she's trying to teach Stevani how to relax. Take a moment to think of just flexibility, love, and trust. Take a moment to think of just flexibility, love, and trust. Here comes the thought. You know, that's lovely, and I'm gonna stop there before somebody from Nickelodeon or something, Cartoon Network, whichever, gets mad at me. My favorite fusion is Sardonyx. Love the whole show woman aesthetics, and her weapon is a mallet. Can't go wrong with a mallet. I myself wield a magic mallet, as you can see in my icon. Only mallet I have is an old Mario Tennis inflatable mallet from McDonald's, I believe. And I do have a sword. It's decorative, of course. I wouldn't try to fight off anybody with that sword. I'm pretty sure it's so decorative, I'm pretty sure it would snap in half with just an angry glare. Also, I gotta post about it. I keep forgetting to post about these. The rolling cart that was the previous throne goal. It arrived a day after it was ordered. That was my fastest order yet, and it is already installed. I am thrilled. Now if I want to access the books that are behind my envelopes and my cleaning rags, I can just pull that out, and my markers are sitting on top of it. It's so nice, it's so cleaned up. Like, you guys are really, really helping me organizing my studio. And I cannot stress how immensely appreciated that is. Any support is appreciated. Every little bit of support helps me pay a bill, helps me get food. And sometimes a video game on sale so I can keep track of my mental health. So speaking of that, there was a really good sale on Dragon Quest games this week, so I got Dragon Quest 3 HD 2.5 remake for half off. I'm still playing it right now. Which tool in Clip Studio Paint do you like to use more often sometimes, and which one isn't? Simply put, I have no idea what the contour line paint does. And the tool that I like using the most is the magnetic lasso. That's it. That's the tweet. It's that simple for a very complicated program. I mean, for all I know, I'm not even using Riskcraft correctly. But I don't care. I love it. I don't care. Of course, I like to combine using the lasso tool with the Ice Cream Man lasso selection. Well, lasso fill, I should say. Because the lasso fill tool will help you fill up a certain area, and I use it mostly for details. The Ice Cream lasso fill tool, what it does is that it will fill up an area enclosed in lines. So you don't have to do all that bullshit by hand. But once again, it's an automatic tool that helps me with my art that doesn't ruin the environment, because it doesn't need a data center to work. Of course, we can't forget the time that Clip Studio wanted to install an AI generation tool in Clip Studio, and the point of it was to generate backgrounds for your art. And to be honest, I wanted to try it, but I did not complain when people complained enough that Clip Studio abandoned the idea. Because I am the type of people to draw your character first, and then you get to the background, you didn't even think that far in your art. Hi, Paul! And when it's time to do the background, you're like, I don't feel like it. But when they announced that, that was before we learned that AI generation required so much goddamn water. I'm kind of thinking it's possible that they also gave up on that, not just because of the backlash, because usually Clip is pretty good at listening to backlash. But also because they probably realize that it would take like a lot of water, a lot of server space that they couldn't afford. Like, you gotta think a little bit like a company too sometimes, you know? Gonna grab a bit of water, and unless I start complaining again. Water good. Dooby-dooby-dooby-doo. Dooby-dooby-doo. Now this is what's called a pause. To give a step in the timing. Sometimes I know what I'm doing. Sometimes. It happens. Next page. Finally, the punchline. Took us long enough to get there, huh? A lot of you probably guessed by now what was gonna happen. Of course, unlike certain artists that draw their art by hand that I'm not going to name, I'm going to put the right amount of bones and the right amount of arms. And for those wondering how did she manage to keep her hair as nice as that despite her current state, clearly don't know how much product one would need to maintain such a hairstyle. So eerie how everybody got quiet at the same time. Maybe it's a wig. Who knows? Maybe it is. Are you okay, cartoon cat girl? You can't even believe you didn't see that coming with the way the other animals were decaying. Gotta bring down the stabilization a little bit. When in doubt, add more details than you think necessary. You know how when you draw a realistic picture and then you start doing the line art of the teeth as thick as the line art of the skin, and it looks really weird? I just didn't expect a person to be one of the exhibits. Plot twist! And this is why usually people don't let me write my own stories. Case in point, I put a poll for the next story after I finish A Day at the Zoo, and more people voted for a new episode of Welcome Home Nephew than another horror story from my head. I'm guessing people need a little break. But if you guys are into rabbit holes, there was a point in time where they would exhibit humans at zoos. And, like, well-meaning people will probably think, oh, like an art installation, haha. No. It was a lot more racist than that. What a twist! While I'm doing this texture, I'm thinking of... I love that zombie's hair, thank you. Fashionable zombie. And, like, I'm doing the texture here, and I'm thinking of Coco. She showed me recently a new coloring book, I'm pretty sure it was Coco. That they got, and was Junji Ito's coloring book, and I said in the same breath, that is so cool and is going to be such a bitch to color. Anybody here is familiar with Ito's work, that is going to be a bitch to color. Looks like one of the first Pirates of the Caribbean. Another set of movies I never watched. I forgot to offset again. There, it doesn't look like I did much, but I did. And I don't need that. I can't offset something that's all the same layer. And if anybody's watching and thinking, yeah, that's what they used to do in the risograph, well, I never worked in risograph, so I don't know. I just know I like the texture. Texture purdy. Texture go brrr. And don't get me started how much I love the brush I'm using right now. Oh, Lord. Like for Bootleg Cookie, for 10 years, Bootleg Cookie, I used Frienden's The Natural. But since I discovered the Burnt Ink brush, oh, that is my brush. Oh, Lord, I love what it does to my art. And now the nice ribbon. I'm gonna spend so much time just rendering the zombie. I've been waiting for drawing her for weeks. We are going to spend time on her. You know who's gonna get yelled at? It's going to be me because I draw zombies. And I'm not even monetized. Because Wooba or Astrocard is gonna see this and they're gonna go, eh. If you want to use our service, only puritanical art. One day I will learn how to do the... Do you like to horror more often? I like to consume a lot of horror. Surely I draw a lot of cute stuff and... Like, I draw more cute stuff than I draw horror stuff, but I do enjoy reading horror comics and drawing horror. Not a lot of people ask me for my horror, though. More people should ask me for my horror. I have such a good horror. I have the hugest horror ever, out of the best horror. Just hope I don't have to do that impression often, because I'm not a fan of the guy. I know there's some people waiting on some commissions from me. Good news, I finished working on the current volume of Aurora Man. So while I also have to start on the next Charybdis, I will be able to start on... Are you saying you like to draw horror? Yes, I do love to draw horror. I will be able to get to your commissions starting next week. But I will not be reopening commissions until 1, the current batch is done, and 2, I am far enough in the next Charybdis issue. And I should probably post that on my Ko-fi. And for those who are not familiar why I said horror like that, it's a reference to an episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway? Where Drew Carey really stretched out the word, and then Ryan Stiles and the rest of the cast gave him grief for it. Funniest thing to tease Drew on, next to him being in Geppetto. was Geppetto, actually, in that movie, wasn't he? And that movie got panned, wasn't it? And then we saw the new live-action Pinocchio from Disney themselves, and did anybody think we owed Drew Carey an apology after that? I think he's just really embarrassed about it. Yes, we do. I mean, I can't be the only one thinking that they do those live actions just to extend the copyright. And that's why they were so keen on that scene of Pinocchio sniffing horse crap summed up that dump of a movie. Yeah, I was thinking of the exact same scene. And like I was about to say, and that's why they were so keen on signing up to use AI. Because that meant they could extend copyright by not doing much. And not paying much. Because that's basically, or a tax write-off, that too. Because that's what they're doing currently with, give me a minute there, I'm drawing and thinking at the same time. Hellraiser. Just as the license / copyright is about to expire, they make another movie, no matter how bad it is. And that's what the director of the Dick Tracy movie keeps doing. He'll film a little short with him dressed as Dick Tracy, and that's how he keeps the license. Until they let him make another movie. Or until he passes, whichever comes first. C'est pas tout jeune, ça, là. Just to give her a bit more contrast with the white background. And I really just want to stick to the blue and red. And there we go. Looks like we're finishing next weekend. But at least I finally got my my punchline out and on paper. I am happy. Now I know this specific type of bouffant was more 60s. Congrats, thank you, Cartoon Cat Girl. But, I do what I want. I keep telling you guys that I do what I want, and some of you, like, still argue with me. But at the end of the day, I do what I want, so... You know, Shiro, you should do one of the funny, scared faces in your characters. The funny, scared faces. Well, you guys know what I say to suggestions? You have suggestions, I have a price list. And right now, that price list is closed because I got work to do. Oh, I just adore being my own boss. I like how we got 5 people and then they realize I'm drawing zombies and they... At least 2 people left. Like, you imagine they go, ew. Thought it was gonna be something cute. I'm not always cute. Sometimes I want to draw horrible things. Sometimes I want to draw things that are so horrible yet heartwarming. People come back from it thinking, how exactly am I supposed to think? And if you can't find an answer, I made you think. Can't you make us think with more contemporary art? Or high-level art? Or... No, I make you think with the kind of art I want to draw, and that's it. If you struggle to think of something when you see my art, I suggest looking at your toes until the 2 brain cells roll over and touch. About 6 more minutes. before I call it a day. Gonna move that a little bit more centered. Because I'm picky like that. Of course I would forget an entire arm. Back to you. What layer was I on there for a second? I kind of switched you to a different layer without noticing. I find it more disturbing that a kid actually likes the zombie woman. I mean, the kid has been loving all the the undead animals so far, so why wouldn't he like the zombie woman? Would character from Data East Magical Drop be okay for the next color challenge? Hey, if you want. As long as they're dressed. Could at least get this cleaned up, and then we'll be good for next week. Alright, we're good for today. And with that, you know what? I'm going to put that little piece black right here. Just for extra contrast, because that's the arm in the back there. And that will be all for today. We did a lot of work. We colored this panel, we did this panel, which was pretty easy. This panel, which was a lot of detail, and then this panel. That's a lot of panels compared to all the other days. So I'm pretty sure I'll be actually able to finish by next week. And Ronald is saying I'm going with Death from the third game. 1, because there is almost nothing involving her, and 2, almost all the attention is focused on the world. Yeah, I remember the world. The world was a very popular animated GIF in the beginning of the internets, and I was there in the beginning of the internets. So yeah, familiar. So we're done for today. An extra special caramel drizzle, rainbow sprinkle, chocolate syrup thanks to Amber B, Paul K, Miss Enovis, Bad at Multiplayers, Blasis, Laura S, Jeff B, Garcia, Zanuk, Mario 369, Red Reaper, Noah, Twingle the Scraggler, and our part-time supporter, Super Dude at 808, Rocket Mouse, and Enlightening Spirited Dragon 938. Your continued or part-time support is always, I cannot stress this enough, always appreciated. Next live stream is going to be next weekend. I just want exact dates, but I know it's going to be next weekend. There we go. Saturday, June 6th. It's going to be the Color of the Month Challenge. at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and June 7th, we are finishing A Day at the Zoo, finally! And depending on how many more panels I add, shouldn't be too much, we should be able to also start the next Welcome Home Nephew episode. No promises, but I think that's what's gonna happen. And of course, that's also going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's my time, not your time. Maybe your time, I don't know you, I don't know your life. Hope you guys had fun watching me draw this. I love fun drawing it. We did a lot of work today, very proud. And I'll see you guys next weekend. I love you all, and bye-bye.